night, and I'm coming on this long and windy road.
Hi everyone, it's Trish from Dish Kitty Studio. It's been way too long since I made a video. So, my computer's actually been broken and it's finally fixed, and it's a really long, boring story, but I thought I would show you this art journal. There is a video on my channel where I had just started using this particular book. It's just a textbook. It's a teacher's edition, like, literature textbook. I found it at a thrift store or, you know, estate sale, something of that nature. But there's a video on my channel where I had just started using it. I had a few pages with a little bit of stuff on it, and I kind of went through it, and that was from April of 2016. So that's a solid 2 years ago that I've been working on this book. I have a lot more of it done. There's actually I'm gonna flip through it. There's actually quite a few pages at the end that are completely untouched, but I feel like this book is pretty close to done. I don't know that I'll get to every page, and I'm okay with that. But I haven't done anything to the cover, you can see, but I just wanted to kind of go through, and I thought just sort of show what kinds of things I have in here, what I do in my art journal. You know, the beginning's pretty bare. I feel like these pages have holes in them. I don't know if you can see that. Those were there when I got the book. This is just from a magazine, kind of like a cover page. Incredible things happen when you change the rules of the game. I thought that was perfect for the beginning of an art journal. So these pages were done in the last video that I did. There's really not much, you know, I mean, a lot of different media. I think probably a very light watercolor wash, or maybe even light acrylic, hard to tell. Some ink drips. This is probably from a magazine. This is definitely from a magazine. That's a photo of my actual cat. This page was partially done in the last flip. It was barely a flip. It was more like, hey, I got this new art journal and there's like, you know, 3 different pages. These are just a couple, like I stuck in a couple of pages from a photo, what do you call it? You know, like a photo album. And these are just some index cards I did with art on them, and same here. So, I don't know, like a lot of different stuff. This is really just kind of where I mess around. And this is a Scrap Monster. It's a tutorial from Little Raven Ink. Courtney on YouTube. She did this probably a couple years ago, around the same time I was starting out this book. But it was really fun. So this looks like probably Sharpies, and this is from another book, and I stuck him down, this kitty cat. It's a sticker. So just like a lot of big messes. I hope this is zoomed in enough and you guys can kind of see what's going on here. This is a photo of me when I was a kid that I just printed out in black and white, and then I colored in my dress and put a little bit of pink in my cheeks, and you know, just this is acrylic paint, some stickers here. I mean, you know, nothing crazy, nothing fancy. I'm going to try to flip through pretty quickly, just like some sketch practice here. This is from a magazine. So, as I said, I've been using this book for a couple of years. I made a little pocket here and just put in a couple of things. This is a page I colored with my nephews on Thanksgiving a couple years ago. So a lot of times I use my art journal, like if I get new supplies and I just want to try them out, or if I just kind of feel like just sort of getting my fingers dirty and slapping paint everywhere, then this is where I go. This is just from a coloring book. I stuck it in. See, some of these pages feel sort of unfinished. I don't usually do a page from start to finish. I'll just kind of, like a lot of times I'll just open this book. Like this is way at the beginning, and there's tons more pages back here, but I actually just was messing around with this page the other day, like adding some of these pink squares in the background and stuff like that. So I leave things unfinished and I'm okay with it, and I just kind of work on whatever I want to do. This I stuck this notepaper in here, but this page was blank for a long time. I just did this flower with markers very recently, like within the last week or two, definitely. Oops, missed a page. So a lot of just messing around, trying out different supplies, seeing how they work together, trying out different techniques. A lot of times I'll see something on YouTube that someone else does and I'll instantly want to try it, so I'll pull this book out and just play around. See, like a lot of just bright colors and geometric shapes. Sometimes photos. I did more photos towards the beginning. This is from a magazine. Oh, another photo. There's a lot of pages in this book, so it's no surprise it took me... See, these are just some postage stamps I like. No surprise it took me, you know, a couple years to get through it. This one, I believe, is a video on my channel as well. Just like a speed drawing. Oops, see, I keep missing pages. Practicing flowers with different media. This feels like it's acrylic, maybe? But these, I think, are watercolor crayon or something like that. I stick a lot of things in from other books just because I want to keep them, you know, I want to try to keep sort of my mixed media stuff together, and sometimes I just work on things wherever I am. Nope, didn't miss a page there. So it's just kind of a fun place for me to go, and I don't always worry so much. I don't ever actually worry so much about the outcome. It's more just about kind of being creative and, you know, kind of getting something on the page. Like this was a tutorial I saw on YouTube. I was using like a toilet paper roll, and you cut one end into strips and then use it as kind of a stamp. So I tried to make kind of like a dandelion with these really bold, like navy blue and neon yellow. And you know, this is like a piece of wrapping paper that I liked. I liked the pattern and the kind of sheen it had. I love using these old books that have, you know, words or pictures even in the back, because, I don't know, it just gives you something to start with, and you can always cover things up if you want to with gesso or even just with acrylic paint, or you can let the words and images kind of show through. It just sort of gives you, I don't know, it feels like it gives me a little bit more freedom. I don't have to worry so much about messing up a page, you know, because there's already stuff on it. So another photo pocket here with just some more index cards. So if there's any pages in here that you're particularly interested in, or you want to see more close up, or, you know, kind of find out what supplies I used or kind of what techniques, drop a comment below and let me know. I'm happy to go. I think this page turned out really nice. This part right here, the top, this flower, I actually scanned this and I had it printed on nice paper, and I framed and matted it for my mother and my mother-in-law for Mother's Day last year, and they both loved it. It turned out really nice. It's really pretty colors, and it's like a watercolor wash in the background with some really bright colors, and then I just sort of like blacked it out with, you know, like navy blue paint, and then just kind of added some highlights with a white pen, and then I did like a little bit of metallic marker around the outside just to do these dots and kind of create some interest. And then I think part of these dots made it too, so it was maybe like probably about that much of it made the print. And this was just me kind of playing around with ink sprays, and, you know, I sort of just kind of liked the idea that maybe They were sort of like flowers, or I don't know, kind of neat. And then I put a little glitter on there too. So again, it's a lot of just playing around, and I don't really know what I'm doing. And like this one even, I'm still pretty early in the book. I've got a lot of pages left, but I just did this girl the other day. The rest of this page was done. It had the gesso, it had these dots, but I just drew that girl very recently, probably 2 weeks ago. But yet this page has been exactly as it is for probably at least a year and a half. So I don't really do things sequentially, if that makes sense. So see, here's a couple of pages that also really don't feel done and may never get done. This definitely is not done, but I may never get to it. Who knows? This looks like it might be chalk pastel or something, or maybe watercolor crayon. Not sure. I love the way this girl turned out. Some of this orange, like the dark parts, kind of messed up her face a little bit here, but I just really love, I love the color palette. I think it just turned out so nice. I think she's really pretty, except for this. Oh, wish I could get that off. I think I tried erasing it a little bit and it just really didn't work. So I sewed a little bit of this glitter tulle onto this girl's skirt. This was just a cutout from I think a children's book or something. So I really haven't done, like, and this is another page I didn't really do much to yet. More flowers. Another incomplete page. I think this turned out pretty nice. The eyes turned out good. Oops, I always get it wrong. But I like the way that turned out too. This one is meh, okay, not great. Bright colors, markers. Definitely more pages that are, you know, just sort of in progress and maybe won't ever finish. So I was just sort of playing with the idea of collaged hair. I'm not real happy with the result, but it was fun. It's fun to do. This is not my artwork either. This was cut out from a children's book, but I think it looks cool. Bunny butt. This I just did very recently too. This was probably a week ago. And that is, I think it's watercolor. Well, it's actually watercolor crayons, and then I did a little bit of acrylic on top. Some of these ones that are older, I don't know what in the heck was going on. I think this is watercolor marker. I had just gotten the watercolor marker set and wanted to try it out. And that's what I came up with. This was part of the book page that was there. This was just stuck in. It's a coloring page from somewhere. These pages definitely not done. We're getting towards the back here where there's not nearly as much complete stuff. But I think there is some. There's definitely a lot of pages with the beginnings of things happening. Try to go a little bit quicker here because I'm already at the 13-minute mark. So this is just playing around. Playing with colors. I think these were those watercolor markers too. I have the Winsor and Newton set. So again, just trying different media. This was gesso, and then I put this bright colored acrylic paint, and then I drew her with a China pencil, one of these China marker pencils, just to sort of see how that would work out. Stuck this in from a Lush ad. This turned out terrible. Oh, I'm not happy with that face at all. Not good. I think we're getting to kind of the end here because there's not much left. Oh, this turned out really nice. I just did this a couple of weeks ago too, around Easter time. Yeah, it's definitely, you can see more like how my kind of process works. Like I just sort of like doodle things here and there. Now that I would say is a finished page. But you can see like here's the start of something but not finished. Again, same here. I just did this the other day. I added this stitching with this, this yarn, and I drew this. The blue was already in the background, but I drew all the circles. This I just did recently also. There's not a whole lot left. There's a lot of pages that are kind of started. I'm not sure how interesting that is for you guys to see. Oh, this one I actually love. I think she turned out so nice. That's just ink with acrylic in the back. I just actually worked on this one this morning. So it's just like a watercolor and a little bit of acrylic background, and then I did like a dark brown line drawing on top with a fine point Sharpie. But yeah, I do feel like even though there's a lot of pages here that aren't done, I feel like I'm kind of done with this journal. Like, I don't know if just enough time has passed that I'm kind of sick of it already or what. But I'm not sure what I'll do. I'm not sure if I'll end up, yeah, see, it looks like there's a lot of blank pages here. There's something there. Yeah, I don't think there's much else. So that's the book I've been working on for 2 years. I just thought you guys might be interested in seeing it. Again, I haven't done anything with the cover. I might still. I've got a lot of little tabs and stringies and, oops, off camera, and stuff kind of hanging out, which I love. I'm happy with that. I have a couple other books that I have the potential to be my next art journal. I'm not sure if I'll finish this one or how much more in it I'll do, but I thought you guys might be interested. And I'm happy to be back on YouTube. So, please be sure to like this video and subscribe if you'd like to see more, and I will be back again soon with another video. Thanks so much for watching, and have a great day.